Oh, come on. How did an error occur? Okay, there we go. All right. We are live and we are working on getting our peoples on.
Sweet.
Yeah, I need to order those tamales. I saw the email come out and like since we were last on and I was like, I'm getting tamales. My wife's had a bunch of medical tests and stuff and like pretty much there's like nothing that she's not allergic to now. And I'm trying to be supportive as much as possible. Like she can't even eat beef and pork.
Yeah.
And I'm like, she's basically got to be paleo, but no grains of any kind and stuff. And I'm like,
Yeah, I'm not.
that doesn't even work.
Yeah, I'm not even too sure if my mama knows how to even make something like that. Like that's a whole different.
I don't know how.
Yeah.
I mean, I grew up on a farm. I had a pig farm growing up and stuff.
What's
So like when she was like, yeah, I can't. I basically have to go paleo. I had to go Google it. I was like, the name, the diet name that I know is either is the Atkins diet or what's
keto.
the other one? Keto.
Yeah.
Love me some keto, but like, I need paleo. I'm like,
Yeah,
I don't know.
I also have to Google that. I'm not too sure on what that one is.
It's like basically chicken and fish, essentially. So she's got like high cholesterol and insulin intolerance.
Yeah, it's like you take away one thing, but it gives you something else. So it's
Oh yeah, yeah.
that's wild.
I was like, oh my lord. I was like,
You're just kidding me. We just started live, man. I can't be eating on live.
you go for it. I forgot to reheat more tamales. There's tamales.
Yeah,
My parents love tamales, so go for it.
You're good. You're good. I don't want to be stuffing my face in front of everybody. We'll do it after. But yeah, man. Now we're excited. You know, we're coming up on show weekend. And it's always kind of no matter how many times we do an event like this, it's always obviously a little nerve wracking with everything because you gotta think about all the steps that go into making a show like this possible or any event, right? If you're an event organizer, if you've tried doing a little parking lot show or just a fundraiser or anything, there's just so many different steps. And you know, you got to think about everything, the how many pens you need, how many you know, staplers and check-in machines, and there's so much, man. So it's been pretty cool just kind of going down the line, and I won't take any credit for that, by the way. That's wifey on the organizing of all those details. She just kind of tells me what it is that I need to go get or find or source, and boom, there we go. And by the way, if you hear a little random shout in the background, that's my little toddler back there. Little Ollie is hanging out with his new Super Mario headphones, and he is having a great time on whatever he's watching. So
Any of the Ollie posts that you post and stuff, it always gets a chuckle. I mean, he's a funny dude. He's funny little guy.
He's a character, man. I just got told the other day, they're like, we used to follow you, but now we follow Ollie, and so you know, he definitely turned everything around. You know, I used to post Mopar everywhere on my personal page, and now it's you know, Pedro featuring Ollie as the main character of the page. So but no, man, it's been really cool, you know, having the kiddo around, and now he's a kindergartner over there, and so it's been cool. Yeah.
For sure. All right. Let's see. Hello, everybody. Yes, Todd, tamales. If you're going to Wham, rumor has it there's tamales that I need to order. Let's see here. Hello, everybody. Let's see. What's up, Sinister?
Oh shoot, I need to click over to the comments. I wasn't seeing all that. What's up, everyone?
Yes, the decal police is here. Drew, I have a problem with these people that are in our chapter that have been there for a year and still don't have a decal, and yet one of our requirements is to run a decal. Like most other chapters, you get a month to get that decal on and a picture posted, or you're out. I've been super lax on that, so I'm now known as the decal police. Soon it's going to be the meat attendance police. So
it happens.
Yep. Let's see. When's the next roast? Probably in a couple of weeks. If not next, actually, it might be next week. And actually, Pedro, this is good that you're on here. I want to do a all guests ride roast.
Okay.
So, like all of our guests that we've had on, I'm going to try and get all their vehicles for the roast.
Nice.
and I think that would be exciting. I know you got something. I've seen your sweetness over there.
Yeah, no, I'll have some toys for you to talk about, good or bad.
Ooh.
Over especially if we're doing this right after the show. And so there's a whole bunch going on, man. I just dropped off the car right now. That's where I was coming from, and so it's getting prepped for the prep of what's happening at this show. And so while you guys are modding right now to roll in and mod there, or show off your toys and your mods at the event, man, I'm having to prep the mod to be done at the event. So
Oh.
yeah, so there's some fun coming for that. We'll
Oh.
talk about that real quick. But yeah, man, there's some fun things happening, and so there's gonna be a lot of stuff that people are gonna be able to get to see, and some of the things that we've been kind of evolving with, is providing people the opportunity to kind of see not only and learn how to install things, but what's available to them and what vendors are offering there. And so we've partnered up with some cool brands to kind of show you firsthand, here's something different, right? And so instead of just already seeing it on the car, there's a whole bunch of companies out there doing installs in front of you, showcasing and teaching you too. So it's not just, hey, you have to buy something and stand here and watch. They're just showcasing, hey, this is what we offer and here's what you can do. And one of our personal builds will get an entire makeover right in front of you guys. And so that's gonna be fun to see.
For sure. Oh, that's wifey, right?
That is wifey.
Hey, wifey. Um, yeah.
By the way, I know time moved on and all these different things happen, but don't let her forget that she owes you her own time on this show. Remember we talked about
Yes. Yes.
so don't let her forget that. I've mentioned that to her. We went on vacation, the whole deal, but or at least I went on vacation. She didn't go with me. Um but yeah, man. So we got to get her on here too.
For sure. As you have been prepping for mods, I've been trying to do mods. I actually just got like 8 different pieces back from the body shop on Monday,
No joke.
and some of them they weren't able to paint, so I've been trying to vinyl wrap and do my own paint. And
For that that VIP area.
for whatever area, I try. You see, that was the thing I wanted to get some clarification on at some point, whether on here or aside, because
Throw it out, throw it out.
okay, so as soon as I got your message back, or the WAM, whoever runs the WAM
A whole bunch of
Instagram.
people. Probably me or wifey and a whole bunch of others. So depending on who you get at that time is one of us.
Okay. Well, they're like, oh yeah, you're definitely already, yada yada, for sure. And I was like, wait a minute, wait, I don't remember what all was on the VIP post. And then I saw in there it's like top level of the parking garage at Friday Night Lights. And I was like, last year my truck wasn't quite, it hasn't gotten much taller, but it was really, really uncomfortable trying to just get to the second level last year. So I'm like, I think I'm gonna have to pass on that top level. I don't know if I'll make it up there.
Yeah, don't get stuck in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. So just while we're on the topic, right?
Mhm.
People always ask us like, hey, VIP, and we don't promote it early on because we like to talk about it at the end because we like to give it to people that are coming, and so
Mhm.
I've seen so many shows where they'll promote VIP and the VIP doesn't show up. They don't necessarily appreciate it, or
Mhm.
whatever happens, right? And so much
Yeah.
changes in schedule, so it's not always their fault. But VIP at WHAM is something that we've never sold. There's events that will sell it to you, and you can sit there with the badges and do fun things or whatever. And so for different people experiencing different events, it's one of those things where you're like, yeah, I'm gonna do it. I've gone to events where it's like a upgrade package, right? You get a whole different experience or different things with it. For ours, it's very simple. We like to spotlight different individuals, different vehicles. We go not just a vehicle. You'll see some stock cars on VIP, and you're gonna be like, why is this car here? and it's because it's the individual driving it and what they brought to the Mopar community or what they did to spotlight the show, or simply a very excited and passionate supporter, right? Simple as
For
that.
sure.
And so the good thing is that we as a team just kind of go and select individuals and say, hey, who have we interacted with? Who do we see all the time tagging the page? Who's excited to come out? Who's showing us that they're building something nice? We do the variety of it too. You'll have Chargers, Challengers, 300s, the Ram community. We've added a whole bunch of different Rams on there, and I got a guy that showed me this like sweet like work rig, right? It has a full setup on the back, but the truck is just styled in so nicely. And when I saw the photo, I was like, dude, that's different. I want to see that. And so with being able to just kind of see different things and vehicles and the builds and everything, everybody's going to see it, whether you're on VIP row, whether you're in the car show area, whether you're in the vendor booth, or whether you're in general parking, or just the infield parking. But I like to be able to bring in some people, give them a little love the same way that they've showed us. And even if we haven't interacted before, just being able to choose some cool toys that you want to definitely see. And if you've attended these kind of events before, it's so hard to spotlight or to really focus in on so many cars. And I'll
Yeah.
use the perfect example. And I learned this at SEMA. When I first started going to SEMA, I would come across a vehicle that anywhere else you would see and you would stop. You would stop everything you were doing. Hey, baby, you wanna
Stars here.
hi, say hi to everybody. Say hi. Hi everybody. And
What's up, Ollie?
so anywhere else you would see it, and because it's happened to me, you would stop everything you were doing and you would sit there and just drool over that car. And if you go to SEMA or an event like WHAM, you're going to see them all the time and you're going to run right by it because you see something else or you're doing something else or whatever it is. And so that's the kind of attention that I was like, you know what? We have to be able to pull some. That way we could spotlight them. That way we could show them some love and just really figure out kind of how to say thank you to some people. And, it definitely is a cool little deal. And hopefully you get that kind of feeling when you experience VIP as well. And so when I saw your name and the team was running through different options and who was reaching out, who was doing stuff, I said that guy right there, I recognize that name. So it was the same way as what we do with other people, right? And so we recognize you, get a good feeling about it, and you say, here you go. And I've been similar events where sell VIP and it costs you, man. Some features cost you hundreds to participate in, and while obviously we could do that, and there would be individuals that have offered to pay for it and to do whatever, and I have never sold a VIP spot because we want it to be something different and mean something, and by all means, where everybody has a chance. So if you guys are watching here on this broadcast, pro tip: send the page a message. Get the best photo that you have. If you give me a grainy one that you took on the potato phone, I'm not going to be able to fall in love with that car. But if you give us a message and you thank you, baby. If you they're mine. What are these? Ninja Turtle slides, guys. He wants to show those off over here. Okay, just FY.
Peep the chanclas, man. Those are
We're
glorious.
flexing the Ninja Turtle slides here. Yes, I'll show them. But no, as I was saying, if you get, you want Jesse to be on the live video too? Jesse, you have to now be on the live video. Yeah. You checked your hair before you jumped in. Say hi.
What's up, guys?
What's up?
Jesse is about to go entertain Ollie.
I am.
Yes, Ollie.
May the force be with you, there, Jesse.
Ollie don't want to go. 1 second.
Sure.
Get some gum for him. And so pro tip though, like I was saying, messages, guys, we want to hear from everyone. So if you have something special, unique, something you're wanting to showcase on the vehicle, if we still have VIP spots available, and it's like mentioned for everybody, there is a team that chooses this. That way you just can't come to Pedro and be like, give me that VIP spot. I'm like, no, let's take it to the team. Let's make a choice. And so as you guys are going through this, and if you're coming to the show, reach out. I always tell the nephew, a closed mouth doesn't get fed. And if you don't speak that out there and say, hey, what is this that we can do? How can I join that? Then you might not jump into it. And so, and just throw it out. I think there's a handful more spots that are available. The last time I talked to the team, and I think there's 2 more posts that are coming that are going to bring up opportunities to be VIP. And so make sure you guys stay tuned for those as well, on top of just kind of going with the flow there of what we're doing for the post. So
For sure. Yeah, I saw your post. I'm like, I'll see what that's about.
yeah, and
Just
so
curious, and so it's
you got to be in VIP, not because you messaged me directly. Let's just put that out there.
yeah,
You got to be VIP because you saw a post that said, "Hey, we're looking for VIPs. Who wants to jump in here? Who has a badass build or something they want to show?" And you slid in them DMs, bro. Like it was as simple as that. So,
heck yeah.
and so for everybody watching, same thing. If you have something you want to showcase, if you've been working hard on something, show the page, show the team, and we'll see what we can do for you guys.
For sure. And I like that it's not something that you, like you said, it's not something that you pay for. It's something that if promoting and excited and whatnot about the show and stuff. Like last year when I went, I bought the bare bones and like everything because
Sure.
I didn't know what was coming up. And I got there and it was an instant regret. I wish I would have gone all out. This year, as soon as like I have 4 alarms set, and I told my wife, do not bother me or anything when it's wham ticket time. I had reminders, everything. And like I was at a birthday party and I was like, I gotta go. So I went outside and so I signed up for everything except for the burnouts because the
Yeah.
brand new tires are too much. I was like, I can't do that.
Look, man,
But yeah,
I just got quoted on some tires, and I feel you. That's why we when we first launched, just random for those that are looking at the burnout contest or looking at that, I did some research on burnout contests, and normally at an event, you don't have to pay to do the burnout contest, but there also isn't a prize, right? You get to show off, you get to have fun, you get the spot, go for it, right? The ones that you do pay usually is $200, $300, whatever it is. And when we launched, I believe it was $500, right, for
yeah,
the
500.
tires or for the winner. And then I went to go get a quote on some tires, and we jumped that up to $1,000.
I noticed that. I noticed it went up to 1,000. I was like, that's still barely
Yeah,
half for my tires, but that's pretty nice. I could
no,
replace
for
the back
sure.
ones. But
And
yeah,
technically, you're only burning the ones on the back unless you're all-wheel drive. You do some crazy, right? Like because some people do it, but
I
you're
want to
only
see
burning
that.
the ones on the back, and
That's
so
true.
half of that budget, right? And so
That's a
so
good
no,
thought.
man, and to be honest, we really didn't see a spike after the announcement of the 1,000, right? And
Really?
so now we have a good amount, and it's going to be a really good, solid turnout for what our first time doing a burnout contest is. There's tons of people signed up for it, but as a spike, if you would say like, hey, we just threw $500 more at it, let's see who wants it. We didn't see that much of a difference, but we're not going backwards. You guys are getting the $1,000, and hopefully we get a really good show. Which I've seen some of the cars that are doing the burnouts and prepping for it, and they're serious. And so as long as their car is not on fire, they're gonna keep going, right? And so they're gonna figure
Sore
out.
subject. Sore subject.
Yeah, no, it's serious. Right? Yeah, yeah. I'm sorry.
No, I'm
I
messing with you.
just processed that. I was like, okay.
No,
Yeah.
it's all good. It's all
But
good.
but yeah, so as long as their car is good, they're rolling, man. So now we're pumped up about that. We've been wanting to do that for a long time, and all the cars just fell into place, and so yeah, so we're going. Oriana, TRX on the burnout pad, please. Make it happen. Yeah, no, man.
Okay, Todd, I've done one burnout in my life, and it's because I don't want to pay for new tires and stuff.
Yeah, man.
I did a burnout, and I did it as kind of like a memorial kind of a thing for a buddy, and I started doing my burnout, took off down the road. Well, I looked in my mirror and I saw something flying up out of the back of my truck that was not smoke, it was solids. I went, oh sweet Jesus, no. I got home. I did it fairly close to the house. I got home. I pulled over. Apparently, I did my burnout on a freshly repaved road because there was asphalt caked in the inside of my fender wells. And when I drove back by later that day, I looked and there's some nice 11s dug into the asphalt. I'm like, I think I'm just going to leave. I'll do this on dirt. I don't know if I'm going to do this anymore on blacktop. This
No,
is bad
it's,
news.
it's a tough deal, man. I've seen some people, burn up some tires, and if you do it right, in one run, you're going to the tire shop. So I get it, and so
Mhm.
people give us a hard time on the post every time I mention it, and they're like, $1,000 is nothing, and so I'm like, man,
It's 2 tires. That's all
yeah,
you need.
but I get it. Everybody's thinking of like, trying to be conservative with them tires because they go pretty quickly. Um, I am hearing like a repeat on the audio, so I'm not sure if that's me or what. But
Do you have headphones by any chance?
no.
Nope. Okay. Sometimes that's it.
I had the phone very close to the thing, so I just threw it away.
Oh, okay.
But no, yeah. So and by the way, I'm gonna just throw this out because I was trying to scroll through the comments. Lori said, by the way, looking good, Pedro.
That's my mom. I was
Yeah.
like, you wouldn't believe what Pedro. That's
No,
what I told her.
Thank you, Lori. Your son just told me the same thing. He hyped me up as soon as I got on this chat. So yeah, he can have me on the call anytime he wants. Gives me nice compliments and stuff. But now I gotta get Wham ready. Everybody's modding their cars. I'm modding myself. So I got to do something.
For sure. A number of people have asked about Nate. He is at back to school night for his daughter. So I figured this is a perfect time. I mean, I know it's normally the Briggs and Jennings show, but Nate can't necessarily go to Wham. I'm going to Wham, and I'm getting plastered with questions left and right about Wham and stuff. So I was like, oh, this is a perfect night. Let's see if we can get Pedro on tonight. And so thankfully.
We dropped everything to get on here with you guys. So yes, for sure.
I guess.
But yeah, man. So no, we got a lot of fun things going on. I think the burnout contest is something fun. We're about to announce the host of the burnout contest as well, which will be someone fun. And if you guys have been watching Speed Week, which are all these announcements that are going on right now, you might recognize the face of somebody that has been all over some of these things, and so it's pretty cool, man. It's so it'll be something fun. He's a very different character, and you're gonna love being around that microphone if you're over there in that spot. Shana said, "Truck Tug of War."
Oh yes. Okay, Pedro.
Can
we need to get that?
Yeah, no. Talk to me. Look, I'll tell you guys, and I told y'all this the last time that we talked. The world that I've been a part of has been the LX scene, right? I was very clear with everybody about that before. Now I have jumped over into the off-road world because of BF Goodrich, and they've taken me to race in Baja. They've taken me to the Rubicon. I've done all the trails and different fun experiences. But in the truck world, man, I've been all over that truck world as far as like demo vehicles and obviously moving stuff for, one thing I hate about having a truck, I'll just throw you guys because I know you guys can understand.
Everybody wants you to help me.
Yeah,
everybody does.
They see me with a truck and they're like, I have to move this couch and it has to be done today. And I'm like,
everybody.
No. So anyways, I'll throw that out there like that. But when it comes to having the truck, man, I've been in some really, really nice ones. And Oriana's in here right now. I've been in her really nice TRX, and that's a whole different machine. But I love, just like in the car world that I've been a part of a long time, there's so many different varieties of it, like so many different versions, right? And so like I mentioned, the work truck that's coming in for VIP, and you got so many different flavors of these things that are going on. And then you got, like Oriana just said, she's out taking her TRX out in the mountains, right? And so like using it for what they're actually supposed to be used for, which is pretty freaking cool. I love when she posts. But anyways, long story short to say, educate me on this tug of war, and let's see how we can talk about this.
Okay, so Tug of War. I mean, I think we've all played that as kids.
Mm-hmm.
The same basic concept. You got booty to booty.
Right.
You got chains or straps. I'm personally a proponent of chains. I think they're stronger. Um, and 3, 2, 1, go. And whoever gets drug either the vehicle across the line, or if you have, keep it within a box. Do it on blacktop. Do it on dirt. Get really exciting on dirt.
Is there's I mean, I know it's a big thing. I've seen it. I've seen where people are doing this. Is that like a competition, or it's just like, let me laugh at you after I win? What is it?
You can do both. Quite frankly, I towed. I've gotten people out of mud and stuff, and they thought it was funny to do a tug of war. So then I got them out of the pit. They started to try to do tug of war, so I just kind of took them up and out of the mud and dirt because I was like, no, I'm not getting pulled into your mess over there.
Yeah.
Stupid Ford, stay over there. But no, I mean, you could do it if you wanted to do a tiered bracket thing. You could do that. That might get a bit complicated, but
yeah. So I mean, I obviously would love to talk more about it because, as we've mentioned, we'd love to be able to have different things. Just like, the Jeep community, for example, man, they ask me all the time, can you give me something to off-road while I'm there? And I'm like, I don't know where I can make you off-road on the track or
that was
any
another thing I was
test,
going to
right?
say.
And so kind of finding some experiences for different people a little harder, but we got space to do some tug wars. And I won't say that we're about to do it, this event coming up, but maybe for the next round. And I'll say this, if you guys can educate me or educate our team on how we do that, for competition side of it or fun or whatever would drive people to do. I'll tell you, I hate showing up to events where they're promoting some sort of activity and nobody's there, right? And so I've seen that, and even talking about burnout contests, I've seen where I've gone to some major events and they just either didn't promote it right or it just wasn't for their people, right? And
Sure.
so, same thing. If we're talking about tug of war and we're investing on what we can do there, I'd love to learn on how to make that happen, and even better if it could be presented by the Briggs and Jennings Show or something.
Oh, heck yes.
Just throwing it out. We do something fun with making sure everybody's educated with that. We could do it right, and have some fun with it. And I'm sure wifey's probably still watching if she's not already driving home, but I'm sure she would agree. And so we're always looking for experiences that we can add to it and give you even a better experience with being at the show and give you a fun time. So and side note, just because it just popped up in my head for some reason, I'm not sure if you guys have been aware, but at WAM previously, it was dry, like there was no alcohol, there was nothing going on. And we did that because of a lot of driving experiences, of course. And the last thing we wanted was for people to be able to, be drunk on the track or whatever. But if that is your cup of tea, if that's something that you're wanting to do, there will be a beer garden. And you can't expect to go out there and just get plastered. But if you are in that, like, that enjoyment of it, then there's something else coming for you too. Just throw that out there.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Everybody's
Yeah.
different. Look, the boss just said yes, we can do that in the north side of the autocross area.
Heck yes.
We have a big old area over there that we do not utilize, so maybe we can use that. And so yeah. So look, Todd's coming in with the expert. So you gotta come in, and that's what I love about people, is because people, they know these experiences. So if we're talking about class levels and what's going on with that, that's a whole different language for me, right? That we're gonna jump in there. But you guys seem to be really excited about it, and I'd love to learn more, because that might be something else that brings it in. And like, wow, I saw most of you guys are saying we're not doing burnouts. I can't do it in an eco diesel, and I can't do it this and that. Right? I'm just reading, but
no, it's a lot of smack talk. It's a lot of smack.
But if you guys have those kind of rules, those kind of things, or these levels, it'd just be simple for us to put that together. And so that's why I tell people all the time, like, hit me with an idea, but tell me how to do it too. Because sometimes that
Yeah.
one thing I will not pretend to do is know every single thing to these things, right? And so if I can get the experts that come in and make this just such a smooth thing where we got to put it together and roll it out, man, why not? We definitely have the space, and we just got to be safe with it, and might require a few more emergency vehicles or something that they require to do. But yeah,
Mhm.
man, it'll be fun. I'll jump in the vehicle with somebody. Y'all can show me how it's done.
Heck yeah. Yeah, I think the big thing, who said it? It was Richard Morris said might have to split the gassers from the diesels. That that one, I think the classes and separating the gassers from the diesels are going to be big because you can have a lot of horsepower with the gasser, but that diesel's going to just it won't be fun.
Yeah, Todd. So Todd saying you've been to a few different contests with the with Tug of War. So yeah, man, we definitely love that expertise, and the way I tell people too when they bring up those ideas is tell me what you've experienced in those contests that went
Mhm.
really well, and what did they do that went really wrong, right? So that we don't do that. And
Mhm.
so yeah, so I mean, if you guys throw it out like that, man, we're always open to it, and we want to keep this fun for everybody. And so being able to do different experiences is fun, and we'll see what works and what doesn't, and then we'll kind of go from there.
For sure. I'll get with. There's a couple people that I know that would be good to talk to about that. I'll get with them and talk with them, and once we get past the show this year, you've had some time to breathe. Hit up have
Well,
Mama make those tamales. We'll get it. I'll get you
I
some
will
scoop.
I will say something because I am not cleared to say the rest of it. Let me see. I will say that there will not be any rest time right after the show. So, yeah, that could go
Oh,
a lot of different ways. And so, if everything goes well, there will not be a rest time. So,
oh,
so we'll have a lot more info on that. But
cool.
do not wait. Usually, I tell you guys, like as soon as the show's over, Pedro the Moparin is no longer around, right? And big vacation because you need it after running a show like that. But no rest, no rest.
Oh,
I said no rest for the hustlers. We are not resting, and uh,
you sit
and
here and tease us like that. Oh my
I'm sorry.
lord.
If she jumps in there and says something, maybe right. Y'all can get on Sensita over there. But as far as exciting things that are coming, we have a lot. And I will say that I'll give you the other tease to this thing. One of the biggest challenges that we've always had with running events in Texas is the heat, right? And this year, we have opted to doing a night show, which will hopefully,
Hallelujah.
yeah, I'm so
Hallelujah.
excited for that. Cita says she cannot confirm nor deny anything that is being spoken here at this time. But I will continue with the second part that I was saying. The biggest challenge has always been the heat and has always been the big focus on the experience that we provide for the attendees. There is a big focus, refocus, or change, or however you want to throw that out, into ensuring that experience is better because of the heat. And so that means a lot of different things. But I will say that there's some fun and exciting things that you guys are going to love the moment you hear once it is finalized. And so we are obviously on a very um, focused path to ending with a bang with this Labor Day weekend show. And it's been a really fun weekend. And we will see where the next one takes us. So.
Yes. That's some exciting stuff right there. All right. I've had my producer. She doesn't want to officially be a producer, but we call her the producer, and I just keep throwing stuff at her to do.
Yeah.
Um, and she always says, "Okay, let's." So awesome. Let me see. Oh, God, everybody's sitting here talking smack about the Eco Diesel and the Eco Damsel. Oh my lord. Okay, so like I've mentioned to you when I was like, can you come back on and answer questions and give us a lowdown? I swear, if I get another Wham question, I may lose my mind because I don't know. I know whatever you publish, and that's about it. And then if I
Okay.
ask you, it's because I either can't find it again or whatever. Um, so the first thing is an email that I got, I think last week from y'all. The showdown criteria. I'm so glad that you sent that out, but now I'm feeling very insecure about my truck with that whole thing. But that's
Okay.
another story.
Talk to me about it. Yeah.
I was looking. I was like, oh no. I'm glad that they're going to take daily driver into account, but oh
Yeah.
sweet
No.
Jesus.
And so here's the fun part about that list is even after we sent it out, it's been evolving. And so here I'll tell you something fun that's going on with the judging side. So if you guys are entering the car show or if you're wanting to take part or just curious about it, the car show competition we added because and actually it was a focus from the beginning of every one of our efforts, because man the awards are sometimes a really cool thing to take home, right? And so
Yeah.
we're definitely not focused on trophy chasers and people that are just want that award and all that fun stuff, but we do like to reward some hard work and some builds that we can put out there. And so we created this version of the showdown that we call it, and it's car show competition. So everybody gets to enter the venue, gets to take part in the event as a whole, depending on where your attention is going and what you want your experience to be. But if you're in the competition, there's a few different things that change. Not only do you get to park in a certain area of the show, which is basically the center of the event, our judges get to find you easier there because you're in the showdown area or part of VIP or in the vendor midway, which are the three areas that they go after. But the parking is kind of set up for you, and it's some of the best parking that's available. But beyond that, we have a team of 26 judges that
Shoo.
are on there, and it's almost doubled from what we even had last year. And so the reason for that is because there's so much experience that's jumped into the team beyond the fact that there's more eyes and more ideas and more opinions on everything. You got individuals on these teams that have created their own events, that host their own shows, that manage car shows or the features or all that for different places, and it all goes from every lineup of the vehicles. We even have some judges that are in the show that are not Mopar owners themselves, but they've built Mopars. Or one of the guys, man, I've met him so many times because he has been the spouse of one of the best builds that I enjoy seeing every time. And so now he's coming in and he is not driving his Camaro into the show, but he will be there and he's part of our judging team. And it's a really cool thing to just kind of get his expertise on what he's seen. And I believe he's a truck owner as well. So you just get a whole bunch of different people in the mix of it. And there's also Ram specific owners and judges, right? And so to your point of like, man, you're kind of feeling nervous about whether they're going to actually know how to judge a truck or judge your vehicle. We put a lot of thought into that. And so there are judges that are specific to that. And so the instructions very clearly, if they don't feel comfortable with what they have in front of them, there is another team on site that they just have to call over, right? And so
Awesome.
you'll probably get to see that. And because there's a variety of judges within each group, you might not get to experience that, but that is one of the protocols. And so everybody knows what they're looking at, and if they're not comfortable with it, whether you're talking about a Charger or a modified vehicle or a classic car or a truck or whatever's in front of them, we have some Alfa Romeos that are coming to the show, right? And I don't know how much experience you've had with them, but I've been very limited with them. But we have some
Yeah.
individuals that have owned them and know what they're looking for, know what's going on. Because it's a funny thing. I used to do a lot of car shows at the beginning, and anytime there was a brand new vehicle, right? When they launched the Chargers, when they launched the Rams, the new changes. When you see the new, you're like, oh my God, that's so different, blah blah blah. But if you're really competing in a car show for an award, does that one necessarily win an award, right? Being stock and being just fresh off the lot. And so there's
Right.
so many different discussions that go with that. But we have a team of judges that are focused in what they're after. Um, and Oriana's here. I'm sure she's still here. She can tell you guys what she's after. She's actually one of our judges. And so there's specific things that everyone's looking for, whether best of show awards or whether top 100s or whether wheels or whatever it is. And we are attacking it in the right way, guys. And so the
Awesome.
moment you set foot into that venue, take care of that car first, and by the way, enjoy the show. I see a lot of people that they stay next to the vehicles, and that's where they want to stay because they're worried about the judges not coming by or whatever. But you will see them clearly with their shirts, and you will know who's the judge, and chat with them for a little bit, let them know what mods might be on the vehicles that they cannot see. And so that's another thing I'll tell you, man. Like when you see the judge, educate them. Don't take their time for 20 minutes over there or whatever because they got to jump up to the next car. But if you guys could take a moment while they're there and just say, guys, let me tell you a little bit about the truck, whether it's the build, the reason, if it's for somebody or about somebody or for a cause or whatever it is that you built that for. Maybe it's just because you wanted to build a badass truck, whatever reason, right? But there's mods, there's changes. Like I just told somebody, they built an insane performance machine, right? My guy, look at that guy jumping in.
What's up?
And so they build this massively cool dragster, right? And so, but on the outside of the shell, you can't tell. It's one of the sleepers, right? And so that's the thing that I tell everybody. Like, if you've done mods that are unique in a way that you have to know what it's on there, you have to show a board, you have to put in a little bit of work to educate those judges. And no matter how experienced they are, the little bit of help that you put in to make sure that they're aware and educated on it, that gives you those points. And so that's a pro tip that I'll give everybody. If you have mods that you cannot easily see, or if you've restored it, or if the wide body on your vehicle is not a factory wide body, but it looks like a factory wide body, tell us that, right? And so you have to be able to kind of educate the team, whether it's in a form of a board that has the mod list or whether you guys are sitting there talking to them. But man, we've put a lot of work into the judging, and making sure that everybody has a fair shot here. And we want the people that deserve those wins to take them home. So as you go through that, the daily driver is a big focus as well on making sure that we're fair with it, and making sure that everybody has their fair shot for their investment as well. Beyond the experience you get already, being able to say, man, they looked at my car, they took a moment to check it out, they heard me out. It's a big focus for us. And so with increasing the team as well, we will be able to get through a lot faster, and there'll be a lot of eyes on them and a lot of experience, and you guys will not only get to be judged at a really decent time through the event, but you'll be able to leave after you're judged. They're placing a really cool sticker on the car, and you will know, hey, you're already judged, and there you go. Look at him, multiple camera angles, bro.
Well, I'm telling you.
Look at that, man. That was pro. That was respect there. But yeah, man. So there's some cool stuff. But and so the same thing. And I'll challenge every one of you guys to do this too. The reason why I believe we've had so much success in providing a really good experience with doing an event like this is because we love to listen to the feedback. So like you automatically said, hey, you sent me an email. It was supposed to get me excited, but then I was like, oh man, what's going on? Where is it? Right. So there was a disconnect with what you felt with that email that was supposed to make you feel good about what's coming, right? More information. So whatever that was that didn't necessarily connect with you, I'd love to hear what that was so that maybe we can make an edit or include it if we are looking at it already, right?
Yeah. I mean, for me, I was all stoked, and I was, you have no idea how excited. I like jumped out of my seat and was dancing around because I was working. And I saw it, and then I was reading down through it, and I read through it about 4 times, 5 times, thinking, okay, I was instantly trying to go, okay, what do I need to do to be ready for this show, I was thinking about, I was like, and I started thinking about little things like just stupid on my wheels. When I got these new tires, I noticed that they dinged right around the outer lip and right around the lug nuts. I'm like, do I have time to get those repainted or powder coated between now and then? And I was thinking, I saw I was talking about the trunk. I was like, oh, I just had my tailgate redone. Like I shaved the badge, repainted and stuff. And I was looking about it. I was like, I think I have an oil spill in the back of my truck and gas stains and stuff. I was like, I wonder how many gallons of simple green to get that stain out of there. So I mean, it was stuff that was like, you put it in there. It's a daily driver, so we'll take that into account. Cool, awesome. I'm not worried about that and stuff. It's a daily. I mean, I got little dents all over it because it doesn't matter, as every car person knows, it doesn't matter where you park. You can park in the first spot, or you can be parked out the next county over. Somebody's going to ding your car. I got dents that there's no reason for them. I mean, I treat that truck like it's a work of art. And it's like, so, but that was the only thing I was just thinking about. I was like, oh, and it was the apprehension was simply, do I have enough time between now and then to address those issues?
Sure.
We'll see. I'm going to see if I can get them painted.
But. Yeah. And that's good to know. I'll throw out something else too, while we're talking about the car show, is, man, we have been blessed with seeing some aggressive, and I mean aggressive, builds coming out to the show. Right, you're talking about some investments made into these cars, and very nicely done in whichever genre, whatever way you want to go with the build. There's so many different unique ones that you get to see, but you can tell the amount of work and the amount of time invested. And so that's one of those things about coming to a big event. You get some heavy hitters. We got people traveling. I think the last time we did, I just did an update on this thing, was 40 different states are represented. And you got people traveling from all over, man, to come showcase their builds and their toys. And it's not just people flying in and have, just renting a car or whatever. You got people transporting their vehicles, driving their vehicles, and you got some investments. And so when we talk about the car show, the reason why we're so focused on making sure that everybody has a fair chance and that we're looking at every single build and the experience that goes along with this, because, man, you put in some time and effort into these toys. And so and our team is definitely getting on it. So no, we'll definitely give everybody their and on the same token, you got to up your game, man. You got to be out there scrubbing away that stain, and you got to be out there making sure those things get looked at, because I can guarantee you the same efforts that you're thinking of putting in, people are out there doing it right now, So I get hit up on Messenger a lot with previews of mods, and everybody's like, hey man, how much for that trophy, and just little jokes, right? But what they're showing is that they're working on it. And so I get some really cool previews that come with the message that says do not share, but I get some cool previews of some toys and mods and things, and there's some toys coming. And so when we're talking about daily drivers, and when we're talking about vehicles we're utilizing on a regular basis that do have those dings, you also have to understand that there's cars that never go to those parking lots to avoid those dings. And so people call them trailer queens or whatever they want to, but those toys are also coming. And so anyways, there's an evolution of everything we're doing with that. And then maybe in the future there will be separate classes, separate things, separate deals that we focus on. But at a bare minimum, what we set out to do was make sure that we had a pastime, we had something to look forward to. And if you were building that vehicle to show it off and to compete, here is your platform to do that. And if you're not, man, there's so much to do, right? You don't have to worry about modding the car, drive that car in there. Don't worry about the mods, don't worry about whatever. Watch it a little bit, right? You could wipe that thing down at least, but drive that thing in, throw it up on autocross, check out the cars, go shopping. There's a whole bunch of vendors, there's people there. There's a burnout contest if you want to check out and don't, how to breathe in that smoke or stay away a little bit. But You can see people doing laps and supporting our homeless veterans as well while they're at it. You can do so much that weekend that just is for the Mopar community that is
For
always
sure.
evolving. And so, depending on what you're going after, there's something to do. But if you do that car show competition, come in with some heat.
For sure. And speaking of, so two questions or two things that I get asked frequently. They have to do with the autocross and then the laps. So, one question that I know that I had, and I'm just watching to see if questions come in. I noticed that it said bring a helmet to keep the line moving. I remember last year, I think 2 helmets were provided in circulation and stuff. Is that still the case, or do I need to hit up my buddy or order one? Or
So here's the fun and the bad side of that. The
okay,
the fun side is we want to provide the ability for everybody to have a helmet if they want to drive, right? The bad part, and let me just say it like this: in the times that we're in, you throwing on another helmet that somebody else just used, it just isn't the safest way to go. But
Right.
we
All that
have
sweat.
Yeah, and look, we're in the heat, man, and we were in the heat last time.
oh
And
my
that
word,
and as soon as you put on that helmet, you got familiar with about 30 to 100 people before you. And
Yeah.
oh
so
yeah, oh
we
yeah,
just it isn't fun. And so we thought about that too. And by all means, and I'll tell you flat out, BF Goodrich asked me, they said, how many helmets, who we're providing, what are we doing? And for the drivers, I think you guys have enough time to grab something or borrow a helmet. They're like 20, $30 sometimes at like places you can buy them, whatever. I've seen them for different prices, but you can sit there and borrow a helmet and have that sucker on just for you, your sweat, right? And so highly recommend that. Now, if you come over to the labs area, you just couldn't find a helmet, whatever, obviously the team will try to accommodate if they can. But as a rule, we've set that now that if you're driving on the autocross course, bring a helmet. We're still not charging you. We're still not going to sit there. We're even talked about not limiting the laps as well. We have a dedicated lane for you guys to run. That way, you also don't interfere with the ones that we're doing throughout the entire day. And so that was one of the challenges that we had was if we had all these cars running all day, blocking up the line, it would take you, 10 minutes to even get up to the line for our guys to do the course. That should take them a few minutes so they can get to the next couple people and blah, blah, blah. So I believe we found the solution to that. But it comes with that little part of it. So yes, so if you're driving, find a helmet and utilize one for that weekend. That way you're not sharing the sweat of every single other person that was there.
awesome.
But
Is there a
if you're fighting, we do have way more helmets that are coming in with the rags and stuff that we're doing to upgrade that so that you can get a little bit easier of safety and also just hygiene. Like, so
Put a head condom on and then the helmet.
correct. Yeah, we're doing all that. And so yeah, and it's tough, and here's the crazy part is as sweaty as those helmets were, and I had to put one on at the very end. I did not focus on that because I didn't want to, but
It looks like you're focusing on it now, though.
I know I was processing that. You guys can see that. I was so focused on jumping on those vehicles because there's some bad cars, and those Vipers and that Tirado Racing, and just to throw out my boy from Tirado, the Challenger that'll be there. You guys are about to see that Challenger on Netflix. Like he's on the show. You guys are going to see him on TV, and you guys get to jump into his car. And so, and my boys from Ellsworth Racing as well, the Viper brothers, man, they have so much going on for them too. And you see them across a whole bunch of different racing series. And so there's some really great guys, some very talented individuals. And we've been blessed to have them back again this year. And hopefully as we move forward, so that you guys can get those experiences there.
awesome.
And so rules on the helmet. So did we answer that one?
Yeah.
No.
No,
rules
that
on-
just what are the expectations or whatever?
Good question. And so here's the thing: is that we have allowed in the past for you to have passengers because again, it brings on the experience. But you were racing for time while you're out there, and let's just throw it out: the more people you have up there, the slower you're gonna go. And here's the thing: when it comes to the track, is sometimes the rules that are placed on there depends on the leadership from the venue, and sometimes, depending on the crowd or the activities that are going on, they might make a shift on you at that moment to say, "Here's now the rule that you have to imply there or to put out there." And so here I'll say, the drivers have to have the helmets, right? That's what rules they've given us. That's what we've put out there. But if you have passengers, I will not say that they will not require that too once you get up to that point, because if they're wanting the driver to be safe, you can imagine they want everybody else to be safe too. And so the rule right now is that the driver has to do it, but that doesn't mean they might change it on you. So I would say, as a backup, let people know that they might have to jump out of that truck so that you can go do the course. And then if you trust them and love them enough, they might go do it again. You know, they can experience it. But or if you have a whole bunch of buddies, you can borrow some helmets and they can jump in, right? But that is a really great question that I'm going to add to what I'm about to ask the venue as we jump in here. And if once they confirm, I'll verify that. But I can imagine if they're, which they are focused on a lot of safety, especially for autocross, they might require that. And in a lot of venues, by the way, will not allow you to have passengers in the vehicles. And so the only one that we can guarantee that you are allowed to have passengers on is the laps. So the laps for vets, and that's as long as they have a safety belt. So
Awesome.
specific qualifications for helmets, no, there isn't necessarily a rule on there. We've allowed the open face helmets. We've allowed the, you know, whatever kind of version. It's more of a visual, if you will, but obviously the safety for you guys. So like, you know, we're not on the highway, so I don't believe it has to be, you know, DOT approved or anything like that. But obviously, you know, when you're talking about selecting your helmets, think of the safety, right? And so what I know about that question, especially in the motorcycle world that I took part in for a while there, is that a lot of people just didn't want to wear helmets, or when they got the helmets, they wanted different ones that weren't necessarily approved by different places that required them. And it just big circle of things there. But as far as you choosing your helmet, just make sure you're safe. And you know, for us, we're going to try to be as relaxed as possible. The track will be out there. We'll be out there verifying and you know, put them on there. Please, no bicycle helmets. We don't want the little spicy spike on there. No, actual, yeah, no, like let's say actual motorcycle helmets or actual racing helmets, or you know, something that's will actually protect you. We'll go with that.
For sure. For sure. If you get any info from the vendors regarding what like the minimum qualifications for the helmet are, like does it need to be a 3/4 or whatever, if you wouldn't mind letting me know when you get that info.
I'm gonna ask them. I'm gonna ask them as soon as we get off of here. I'm gonna send off an email just so that they can answer that for me.
Cool.
But yeah, no, they've never in the history of dealing with them, they've never put the requirement of what it was. It was just helmet required, right? And so yeah. But I'll verify.
Cool. Awesome. Yeah, I figured I'd like just pass it along on our show page and then look for one on Amazon. Yes, Eric Hose. I have a hard head, and careful because those bullards at the hotel are also really hard.
God.
Oh, you might need to wear the helmet everywhere you go.
Maybe the Hopkins should bring a big giant vinyl Band-Aid for Eric.
Yeah, just have that locked and loaded.
Just in case.
Oh yeah. One of the questions was is a helmet needed for the laps for vets? I recall last year that was not required.
No, we don't require it there. The only thing required for the laps is that you're not on slicks. They do not appreciate people being on slicks there. So your tires can't be bald. And so they do a quick inspection as you go through. But the main thing that they're looking for is seat belts. And so you have to have a seatbelt on as you're going through the course. And trust me, you're going to want it, because if you've ever taken those laps, you will literally be sideways on some of those turns, and you will squish whoever's next to you or almost fall out the door. And we've had some Jeepers that have done those turns without doors, and they had quite of an experience. But
it's always
yeah,
the Jeepers. It's always the Jeepers.
It's always
Every
time.
No, man, I literally saw a guy. We were walking around. We're like, what just happened? There was a passenger in one of those Jeeps literally hanging out of the door. Like he took that turn too fast, and I don't know if they were being brave in the middle of it and wanted to take off their seatbelt or what happened there. But I saw him, and it's just not a fun thing.
Jeep
But
people
no,
are like the Mustang people in the Mopar world. Like
yeah, they really are.
There are Mustangs.
They are.
guys, the opinions of the Briggs and Jennings shows are not the opinions of the Wham show. The Jeepers, we love our Jeepers. We love the Mopar community, but sometimes we love to talk about you guys and experiences that you've had at the show. But yeah, they'll be like, Pedro went on that show and was talking crap about all the Jeeps. I can already see the post. But yeah, no. So the seatbelts, guys, and unfortunately, if your kiddo requires a car seat, they have been known to be very strict on the fact that they don't want the kiddo in the car seat. And so if they can't be in the regular seatbelt, sometimes we've had that issue. Sometimes they let it slide. And so again, that just kind of depends on the leadership of what's going on during that event for the track itself. And sometimes they change the rules on us because unfortunately they've learned the hard way at another event that just happened, right? So it just kind of depends on what's going on. But I will make sure that we throw that out and verify those details so that we can make it a little bit easier for everybody.
For sure.
Eric has a really good question. Laps for vets, first come, first serve, no time slots. Very good question. We were just talking about that, and I will see if I don't think my wife is still on here because I think she's coming home. She was at work, but the focus, I believe, and the change has been that you will be able to drive up to the laps and at a convenient time for you and be able to run. And so, as we have the opening for the laps and the time slots, you guys will need to be able to do the drivers meeting, which I believe we have 2 different time slots for that, and jump over there. So no, we want you guys to be able to jump out there. And so, Kendra brings up a really good point. Are the Rams going to do laps together, right? And so that had been one of those challenges where we got asked a lot. Everybody wants to go out with their buddies or their clubs or just people, that like, hey, let's run out there and go do it. And the time slots, while operationally has been a really smooth thing for us, we definitely listened to what people were requesting, and so we talked about, hey, let's do away with the slots and let's give them the ability to go up there at the time they want. So as I'm aware at this moment, which I believe was the final decision, is that you'll just be able to go up there and show that you have the wristband and the ability to do the laps and take all your friends. So if you guys want to coordinate at what time you're leaving together or what time you're running together, you just have to tell the team up at the laps area, hey, we're all trying to do this together, and they will accommodate you as best as they can. Sure. And so just do that and go from there.
For sure. Nate just had company show up, so he had to boogie. So he said sorry, but it was good to see you.
Yeah, it was good to see him too, man.
For sure. We had 2 questions that just came in. One of them, during laps for vets, can you have a GoPro mounted on the outside of your vehicle?
Good question. The answer is yes. They have to be fully strapped in. Like, I mean, you will, we've seen people that have lost them, right? And so if they see your rig and it doesn't look secure, they will stop you and ask you to remove it or to verify that it's not going to drop off there, right? But yeah, man, we love footage. That's another thing of goals that we have been trying to hit for this year, is content and video footage and photos And photos, we actually get a lot of really amazing photos from DLG Media, which is, by the way, the vendor that takes the photos of the laps. So if you're looking for a really cool photo, he'll be out there the entire weekend shooting and then printing the photos so you could take them home too. Which awesome. Are really cool thing to have.
Yeah.
And so to throw this out there, the last major photo that we have of my wife's Hellcat was that of the laps that it ran at the last event. And unfortunately in November, that car was stolen. And so it was pretty much the last photo we got of that car, right? That we're like, man, that's cool. And so she still has the photo. She's still kind of mad a little bit about it because we still don't have a replacement, which sucks. But we'll get it soon. And so they were scheduled to deliver the next toy right before the show, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen. So we'll have to debut that at the next round. But yeah, so anyways, photos there. What I was saying is that our media team and a lot of the media individuals and credentials that we've given out this year, a lot of their focus will be around those type of experiences. And so we're going to be able to get a lot of fun footage and a lot of really clean, just kind of focus on all these different experiences. And I'll say this just to say this because I'm very upfront with you guys. Because we've had media team members and we had the challenge of the pandemic too. I'll just throw that out there for the last round. Is we had a lot of media team members or individuals or photographers that we've usually been able to count on that just weren't able to make it to the show. And a lot of the people are just out there for what they're wanting to shoot, right? And we're like, hey man, try to take some cool pictures and we'll post them up. And so you get a different direction, a different focus for everybody that's out there. And unfortunately, sometimes it just doesn't cover as much as you want. And I'll tell you, one of the things that I did not see a lot of that I got to witness myself was a lot of focus and footage on our RAM community, right? And so one of the biggest things that I put out there for my media team was like, man, we need some love here, guys. And so I need to show them that same love because we definitely appreciate you guys coming out and being a part of the event. And we want to be able to feature you guys and showcase you guys as much as we can, and get you, some really cool photos as we're getting for other people. And so anyway, so a lot of really cool things are going on with that. And hopefully for the laps portion of it, we'll end up with some amazing video and footage of all that's going on. And so if you guys are out there running together with the RAM crew and everybody out there, I'm sure you guys all get to enjoy some really cool clips of everyone out there.
For sure. There was a girl there last year, took a picture of my truck coming out of the tunnel. It was awesome. I think her Instagram is Rockwall Girl.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if you're familiar with her.
I am.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I thought her pictures were great. So if you need people, I'm sure she'll already be there. But
she's already planning on coming out. Yeah, for sure.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah,
awesome.
No, she's definitely coming. I'll tell you, the last count I saw for media credentials, which usually we have about like 5 or 6 or whatever of requested. We're at I think 40 of like professional like media teams as well, not just individuals, teams. And so we're out there. So yeah, no, for sure. And yes, we'll definitely have a list of them here soon. We were just finalizing all their passes and details. And same thing, people ask us like, why don't you post it up at the beginning? And to be honest, it's just because schedules change, and so as we ramp up, we try to make sure those commitments are set, and sometimes it bites us in the butt just because we're trying to put out a whole bunch of information at the end. But honestly, this is the time where everybody's focused, right? You got them coming and you're like, all right, what's actually going on for that show that we have coming up? And so those emails help out as well with getting your attention because you're registered and set up. And then we'll just get you guys the rest of it. But yeah, man, we'll have the list of media team members. We definitely want to spotlight them, and you guys will obviously see all their work as they're releasing it. But yes, we want to make sure that we tag them and you guys can follow them so that you guys can see kind of what they shot through their lenses, and hopefully they'll have some photos for you guys. And so out of everybody we have on the media team, we've requested that they send us their photos because sometimes, as you guys know, they'll shoot hundreds of photos and they might share a handful, right, for the weekend. And so we would love to just blast all of them on our social channels and put folders or whatever we can, so that, you know, whether your vehicle was shot or there's a really cool entrance shot like you mentioned, you have that. And so,
For sure.
you know, I've seen so many comments from people that have attended, you know, the events in years past, that they're like, I finally get a photo of my car, and it's like, you know, years later, and I'm like, well, here you go. Sorry, you know. So we we
Right.
want to put it out there as much as we can, and so we're working with them on scheduling and getting all that set up. And Jesse, which you guys saw earlier, nephew, has actually led up the media team for us this round when it came to the credentials. And so I'm really excited of what's coming up for that.
For sure. Drew, of course I want you to show up. You have a gorgeous truck, and I haven't met you yet. So Drew's offering to see if he can get one of his team photographer to come down if you need it. So, I mean, if you want, feel free to just let me know, and I can get that.
Yeah. I mean, if they're coming, if they want to come have a good time, man, we always tell everybody, like, you're more than welcome. You know, there's a whole bunch of stuff we try to do for our team members, and as we get closer, I just can't guarantee all the perks, but you know, have him reach out if he's coming, and we'll see what we could do to add him and include him in what we got going on.
For sure. The next question that came in is actually it's one that I had, which was verifying dates and check-in times at hotel and at which location, because I thought initially it was you can check in at either of the two hotels, and then I thought I saw something that was only at one hotel. So can you give us a lowdown on all that fun check-in stuff?
For sure. So if you are registered for this show, and you have a vehicle coming, this is for you for sure. You can get, if you're just spectating, and some people just opt for just walking through the gate, right? And you're more than welcome to hit the gate, and you'll be able to get your stuff there. But if you're registered for the event, the check-in times for registration is Friday, September 2nd from 1 to 6 p.m., Saturday, September 3rd from 12 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. Both of those times go to the same location, which is at the Marriott Champion Hotel, which is right, not in front of the track, but it's the hotel closest to it. But the Champion Circle Hotel is our host hotel, or one of them, because we sell out multiple ones. But that is where we are central, and that's where we're focused. And so you say, why aren't you doing it at both hotels? Convenience, yes, would be good. Well, here's why. And you might be asking as well, if you've gone to the event before, we usually do Friday Night Lights registration, and that has been a very popular thing for us. But I'll tell you what happens is that while we're set up, or while we're prepping, and the schedule's lining up and everything's set up, man, we get flooded so fast. And the moment somebody parks, they go right up front, because what are they trying to avoid? The lines, right? And because when you got hundreds, if not thousands of people there, you're going to hit a line when you're up there hanging out, right? And so I get it. Everybody's trying to get up and get their stuff early, and we've tried to get our team there earlier, hours earlier before the show. And for some reason, it just doesn't dial in the way that we wanted it to. It's been successful. We've set it up. But after discussions, and I say this a lot, we listen, we learn, we adjust. And so we're adjusting to where you will have the ability to just drive up to the one hotel where all of our expert registration team will be able to help you out. And so everybody's prepping for this. They've done it a few times. They've set up. They know the process. And so not only will you be able to go up to that individual that is well educated and ready to help you out, but it'll be a lot smoother, a lot faster, and everything will be together, including the goodie bags for the first 500, including all the items that you're supposed to get that we've heard, hey, I didn't get it for whatever reason. I went to this one person, they ran out of it, whatever it was, everything is together. Everything is available for you to get the best experience with your registration. And so we are making that change. And so you'll be able to go to the hotel. You guys will get another update, because I believe we've already emailed that out one time. But as we get closer, you guys are going to get multiple emails with instructions of how your weekend is going to go and tips and things to do while you're out there. And part of that is knowing where registration is at. So if you're registered for the show, not only will you see it on social media and everybody's sharing it, but you'll also get it directly to your email. And so we're making that change in order to give you guys the experience. And by the way, after you experience that change and see it at the hotel, if it wasn't the best thing for you, if you didn't enjoy it, or for whatever feedback you have, let us know, because we're out there making sure that we learn and we do it the right way. But yeah, so that's going to be the biggest change that we have with registration, and it's multiple days, but at the same location.
Okay. You said it was Friday 1 to 6 and Saturday
12 to 6:30.
12 to 6:30.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And 12 to 6:30. And then where in the hotel is check-in at? Is it in like a conference room or in the front room or whatever?
Great question. So there's actually a door right outside. You don't even have to go inside of the actual hotel itself. But there's a door right off to the left of the hotel that you can just go in there, and it'll feed you right into where the registration is at. But
Okay.
if you walk in straight to the hotel, to their lobby, you'll hit a left. And it is their conference room area, but it's not flooded into the back somewhere in the back corner. It is right up front, convenient for you guys. So you'll see where they're at. We have signs up and different details to be able to give you the visual and know where you're going. Plus the venue staff as well for the hotel is always out there making sure to direct people and get you guys on your way. And so while obviously everybody's going to be in the rush to get out there and take care of that, but if you're coming into town Thursday, Friday, any of that, make sure that you head over there first. Just knock that out, right?
Yeah.
Get what you need. You're obviously going to want that early. And so hopefully those times will allow you guys the ability to get what you need and then head on over to Friday Night Lights and simply enjoy it. And so another experience for that too, to go on with that. Part of the reason and the feedback that we would get from owners that came in all from wherever they're coming from, whether it's local or out of state, they said, man, I spent so much time on registration, right? I spent all my Friday Night Lights experience in there waiting or asking questions or getting information, and I didn't get to enjoy the show. Well, guess what? By the time we get to Friday Night Lights and the events going on, I'm going to enjoy the show too, you know? And so your focus will be on seeing the cars, experiencing what's going on instead of worrying about registration. And all you have to do in order to get your stuff is get there a little earlier on Friday or go through those times on Friday and then head over to the venue, or Saturday morning, head over to the hotel because you're going to be in that area anyways to try to get into the event. Go hit up registration. It opens at 12. The event, just as we go into timelines, and I gave you a timeline earlier as well, so you can throw that up here soon. But before you throw that on there, just so you guys know, registration opens at noon. The event officially kicks off at 5 p.m., right? VIPs and others they'll start getting there a little earlier, and that's on their details of what they can get. But you guys will be able to get in earlier. Everybody, just because it happens, everybody lines up early. Everybody wants the best spots and to get in there so fast. So get over there, get your stuff, make sure you get your registration packet, and then you can go back to enjoying and hopefully staying out of the heat in time for the night show. And so just make sure you stay aware of that. And again, I know we're sitting here and I enjoy hanging out with you, man, and talking about this stuff. And we actually need to be doing this more like we used to with just getting on lives and getting questions out of the way. And we're working to making sure we do that. But as you guys go through, especially planning your weekend and planning your WAM time, if you guys have questions, we are always live and accessible through our pages, or message me directly on social. Everybody does. So, we're happy to answer those questions. And if we haven't explained it well enough, we love getting the questions because I'm sure somebody else might have the same question too. And so we can try to figure out how to update the masses and get everything up there for everybody. Vehicle registrations available. Is the show sold out for vehicles? they're still available. We are definitely getting to the point where they won't be. And we did sell out last year as we were ramping up to the show, I think the week before or something like that. But there's still registrations right now. And so every activity that you want to participate or that we offer, you can take part in. So we talked about the car show feature, and it's something that you want to test out or try out. Still tickets for that. I think the last time I posted there were like 40 tickets left for that, which is huge.
Sounds about right.
And so laps, we're definitely at the final parts of the laps. And here's the unfortunate reality is when people get into event weekend and they start seeing the people on the track and they're like, man, I should have done that. The first thing they go and say, hey, where can I buy this? Where do I go? And unfortunately, we do not set up to where you can buy them on event weekend. So you might be able to massage your way into a conversation with the wifey at registration. You can go and ask them and see if anybody wasn't able to make it or whatever happened. But make sure that you guys buy them now because they're available and they're the cheapest that they're going to be, because even if they sell them to you on track, as you guys know, at every event when you go and it's event day, they're more expensive. So buy them now, and then you'll be able to experience it instead of saying maybe next year. So yeah,
for sure. Yeah, the laps, I didn't do them last year, and I saw the first run of the laps. I was like, oh, I made a mistake. So I bought that right away.
Registration for Thursday. I think somebody asked for that. So we do not have registration Thursday, and I'll just be very honest with why. It is a big prep day for everybody, as you can imagine. And so, everybody coming into town, locals and our teams and all that. And so we're not at that point to be able to require or to be able to pull off registration on Thursday. But again, we're in test mode for this run and what that's going to be. The hotel can definitely accommodate it, but I don't think we're there yet with that. But Friday and Saturday, you'll have the opportunity to jump in there. And again, these I've seen them run through registration when it's the team that we do have right now, and they're quick about it. So, the thing I can tell you as a pro tip is that if you have a question to what you're going to do on event weekend, and if it hasn't been already answered by the time it gets to that day, ask us online. There are team members online 24/7 looking for questions, looking for people that need information, so that you can jump on there and be well informed by the time the weekend comes around. I know right now as well, we've updated on the website. There's a whole bunch of updates happening in different formats, and we're changing so much of the visuals, and people are like, hey, I can't read this right. So there's just so many updates. That's a whole different conversation and world that's going on. But info, definitely on the website and anywhere on social that you guys want. So make sure you reach out and ask.
For sure. Richard, those you got to book yourself. And then Jesse, I was working on it. I was getting there. What do we need to have to show for registration? Print it out or email on phone also okay? Like what are the things that we can do other than, like you just said, ask your questions before you get there?
Yeah.
What are things that we could do to be able to just right through registration to help make it quick for everyone involved?
So every person that bought a ticket, especially this round, you received an email from Eventbrite that said, here's your ticket. And if you happen to click on that email, at the bottom attached is an actual scannable code that you can either have on your phone or you can print out. If you want to kill some trees, we don't care. Or we do care, but we don't care which option you want to choose. But that right there is the fastest way to get through all of it. If you have that code and we scan you, we don't have to verify your ID. We don't have to verify who you are. We don't have to sit there and look at you and say, did you steal somebody's tickets? None of that fun stuff, right? Joking on that one. But anyways, yeah, no. So rush through registration and to get everything you need is that. Because once we scan your code, it will pull up on our iPads and our system exactly what you registered for. And there you go. And that's another thing too. our system will tell us what you registered for. But sometimes if you purchase multiple tickets, if you purchased a whole bunch of different features, if you did a whole bunch of different activities and you might have used a different email that you didn't use on the first one, sometimes they're not linked together. So recommend that if you didn't buy your tickets all together, print them out or at least be aware of everything that you purchased. That way they can give you everything that you require. Because if you bought something under your wife's name and then you bought another set of tickets, they are not together, you know? So just kind of be prepped for that. But the scannable ticket is a big deal. And if you can't find it, here's what's about to happen. 48 hours before the event happens, you automatically receive an email link from Eventbrite with your tickets, right? That's their automatic that they do. Beforehand, every single email that you receive from us that gives you an update on what's going on with the event will have a ticket link at the bottom that says click for your tickets. And so you can simply click that and go access what you've purchased already. And so many different opportunities to get those things, and that's all you really have to do.
Cool. Now, really quick, just for my own self, on those tickets, do you just need the QR code, or do we need to be able to like scroll up and down? Because I usually just go through and screenshot the QR code so I can go flip, 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 flip if need be.
QR code is the main thing that we're looking for. So the first thing they're going to ask you for is for the ticket that they can scan. And so you will see them automatically hold up the phone or the iPad so they can scan that ticket you're about to show them, right? Cool. The second piece to that is, like I just said, knowing what you purchased. So if you know, hey, I'm doing laps, I'm doing the car show, I'm doing the burnout, whatever it is, they should, in theory, which should happen for almost every single one of them, hand you 100% of what you purchased, right? And you will verify that and you will be like, I love this show and I'm out of here, right? And I got things to do. But if they hand you something and it is not complete, there is a disconnect somewhere in there, whether it was purchased by another email, whether it didn't link correctly on the system, whatever that is. So if you're aware of what you purchased and you can sit there and say, hey, no, I need this, or here's what I got, very simple. They'll just help you that much faster. But regardless of that, we have a process in place. When you become that Moparian that needs just that extra help, we got you. We got a process for that as well.
Awesome. I am pulling up the schedule.
Is the hotel provided for the registered people, or do we still have to buy it ourselves?
It's not like I think he's asking if the hotel is included with registration, which no.
Oh, no. I would love to tell you that the hotel is definitely included, but your ticket price would go up a couple $100. So no, definitely not included. Now let me tell you like this. The majority of the hotels that we're booking at, for example, I'm not sure if you guys know, if you've ever checked, the normal rate at like the Champion Circle when I've seen it is $300 plus a night, right? And you guys are getting it for, I believe, right over $100 for the show rate. And so big difference on what you're seeing on a regular basis for both hotels, for as fancy as they are, and they are some fancy hotels. And there's a lot of attention that goes into getting our host hotels by key cards and security and prep and all this parking and all these fun things, because as we've realized as event hosts and people that travel, usually a hotel only focuses on the rooms. They don't focus on the parking lot, because mostly people will come in with rentals or they'll, Uber in or whatever it is. And so these hotels have the ability for us to also focus in on your parking and your experience for your vehicles. So, but there's a lot of options, and there's a lot of owners that choose not to be at the host hotels for one reason or another. But if you're there, there's definitely different experiences that you will get to enjoy. And I'll tell you, the number one that I enjoy is that when I get up in the mornings or I walk outside of the hotel, it is flooded with Mopars. And I get to interact with some people that I just didn't get to say hi at the show, or I get to say hi before I go to the show. And so anyways, different experiences for everybody, and depending on what you want your experience to be, there's options for that. And I believe both of those hotels were sold out already, though.
I think so.
Yeah, and so actually, wifey told me that Westlake still actually has some availability if you guys are looking for hotels. And so yeah, so but at one point they were done. So anyways, yeah, fun stuff.
Cool.
But you got the schedule right there, huh?
I do. I tried to zoom it in because I don't know what it looks like for other people, but it's like tiny for me. But I also have a small computer, so.
Yeah, Eric said, "Yeah, I was gonna stay at the Solana the night before until I saw the real prices." That's a big jump, man. Like I'll tell you. And so one of the things that we did include, and I'm not sure what time or what day you're actually jumping into the venue or into the hotel, but we've tried to have them include more rooms for other days as well. Because usually, it's the weekend deal, but man, we have people traveling in that'll arrive before we do to the hotel. So. But yeah, so anyways, let me know, Eric, what day you were talking about checking in. That way I can see if they had availability for that, or maybe next year we'll just tell them, hey, give me a handful of rooms on a Tuesday or something for Eric over there.
Awesome. So Friday Night Lights, 6, the garage is open. Ladies and Mopar gathering up top.
Yeah, we pushed the time. If you guys saw that, we used to start at 5 p.m. for Friday Night Lights, and because we're trying to push it even farther in for the night show, we cut an hour, but we extended it. So, but yeah, so Friday Night Lights, guys, if you haven't taken part before, it is our parking garage feature. It's a really cool deal. I say Tokyo Drift without the drift and without the imports, right? So. That scene was massive when I saw that movie, and it just kind of jumped into the idea here as well. And so for our Ram owners, though, a lot of you guys cannot fit through those clearances, on those garages. So there is parking right outside and all around the venue. And the first floor, I believe, is the one that I saw a lot of the Ram owners take over, because you can fit in there before it starts, getting a little crazier as you go up. So definitely clearance. I don't have that right in front of me, but
True, you will not make it inside.
Yeah.
I will tell you that now. My little eco turd barely made it. My flagpole ended up hitting the roof, and then I took the flagpole down. And as I tried to get into the second level, my little metal antenna was all bing. So I was like, "Oh no, we're gonna."
Yeah, if you go to if you're on Facebook, I guess you found it right there. I was gonna say oh no, he's asking. If you're on Facebook and actually I'm on Facebook. Let me check it out real quick.
It is not.
I believe I have that on the Friday Night Lights event thread. Let's see, where's clearance?
Drew, I'm leveled, and it was a tight squeeze.
Yeah, I'll have to search for it. I don't think I couldn't see it. Yeah, I'll have to search for it. But it's definitely a tight squeeze. And for lifted trucks and vehicles. But like I said, we do have the ability for you guys to park outside. You don't have to feel left out or anything like that, and then just kind of walk around. If you don't want to walk the stairs, hit the elevator and come see us on the top floor.
Yeah, I remember we parked outside last year, and it was actually kind of nice to, there wasn't as much of the loud going on and whatnot.
So I'm saying, and that's what we say all the time. You get a different experience depending on what part of the event you're in or what you choose to do. And so that's why we're always listening to whatever stories, good and bad, that happens at the show. And so, when we were looking at garages, one of the garages we used to utilize had 0 parking outside. And so this one, while it is smaller in the level of what the garage is, of what we used to have, it allows us for parking outside, so that when we get those vehicles that can't clear that, you guys don't feel like, hey, I'm not a part of this show. So but yeah, so Friday Night Lights is going on. Same thing, if you have lighting on your truck or on your vehicle, our judges will be around there, so you guys will be able to see them in groups, kind of checking it out, and they will give out some special Friday Night Light awards there at the show. And so, really fun thing with this is that you don't have to be registered for the car show on Saturday to even win an award at Friday Night Lights. They're just simply looking at the builds there. And if you were one of those badass builds that they enjoyed seeing and you got lighting and it's all flowing well, they might just hand you over a trophy. And so that's a really fun thing there. And so as you guys see, we'll have some fun. And on the schedule, there is a Ladies of Mopar gathering at the top level, which is new for this year at Friday Night Lights. And so if you happen to be a lady and you are especially a Mopar owner, we would love to invite you to that top floor where you would see Cincita and the rest of the team up there, and they're going to have some cool goodie bags. And I saw some of the stuff that they got for this, and I was like, why can't I do that too? Like, I want some cool goodie bags for the men of Mopar. I don't know what we're gonna call ours, but yeah, we gotta do something. But anyway,
so good men of Mopar would be moms. I should probably go now.
You just ruined that for me, man.
Sorry, bro.
No, but it's good though, because you know, damn well somebody would have called me out on that. But like, bro, what are you doing for the moms? I didn't process that right. We were just brainstorming, guys. We're learning here together. But yeah, no. So definitely, going back to that, they have something really fun and exciting going on there. I'm across the party because I'm up there and I get access. But if your dude's trying to hit up the ladies' side, it is not a dating service that we're providing up there. But the ladies will be around, so that will probably be the best area to come say hi. And you can wait till after they are done in that area, and then good luck. But yeah, so we'll have some fun, and we do have our after party, by the way. Since highly recommend it, since the event the next day doesn't start till nighttime, you can at least sleep in a little bit if that's something you do, or if you're hungover, right? But after party at the West Lakes Hotel, which is a Solana. Dudes of Mopar, man. Eric, see, man.
That's what I'm thinking.
I like brainstorming over here with the guys, babe. We're gonna be the Doms. It sounds like we're Vin Diesel, from Fast and Furious over here. So the
Bro,
Doms,
we're family. We're family, man.
yeah, we're family. We're dudes of Mopar, and the catchphrase is just family. So,
if we do Bros of Mopar, it's bomb because we're bomb.
We're bomb. Yeah, we'll sit on it. We'll figure it out. But yeah, so you'll be able to do the after party at the hotel. It's not at both hotels, even though the other hotel also has a bar and area for you guys to go hang out in if you want to do that. But cool little focus. And Westlake actually has a massive lobby for everybody to hang out in. So they got drink specials and different Mopar drinks, and I think they have the kitchen open later and stuff like that. So if you're hungry. And the tamales didn't fill you up. Yeah. And by the way, speaking of tamales, make sure you guys order those because we will be closing the pre-orders for that here soon. My mom has an incredible amount of orders to fulfill. And so she's already asking me, when do I stop with these orders? So I am continuing because I know the moment that I close the orders, I'm going to have another 100 messages of people saying, where do I get these from? And she confirmed that she will have some extras at the event, but I'll tell you what happens. People will get in line to pick up their orders. They will take a bite or two out of the tamales, and they will turn right back around and get in that line and buy up the rest of what they can handle. And so if you're expecting to just walk up and find tamales there, it won't be as easy. And so if you're a tamale connoisseur, I will say that these are some of the best. Well, hold on, let me say it like this. These are the best that I've ever had, because my mama will beat me up if I don't say that. But they really are, and they're delicious. And as we obviously experienced in this last broadcast that we did, you, as a matter of fact, were the one saying, where they at? So we got him out there, and I convinced my mama, and the scare of Telemundo that the world is ending was not strong enough for her not to come to the show. And so I got her out here, guys. But y'all have to order your tamales and get in on the opportunity to try them out. And if you guys don't order them, you're definitely gonna regret it. I'll tell you that.
I'm
And
putting
so
my order in right now.
I will have extras. I'll say this, but they're extras for me, and I will not share them. And so if you see me with a tamale as I'm walking around on the main event, they're not for you. Don't try to buy them. But yeah, no, fair warning, man. And by the way, I'm not sure if you guys are spicy, if you enjoy spicy foods, but try that salsa, even if it's just a little bit. Try the salsa because they are a perfect combination. But yeah, no, my mom's enjoying this, man. She was all hyped about it, and obviously pandemic and all the fears of everything. Everybody wants to be careful, and we will be careful with her. But yeah, no, we have to make sure that we load her up with some tamales, and she wants to hear your feedback. One of the funniest and coolest moments of this whole tamale deal was that I got to show her literally hundreds of comments after everybody tried them on event weekend. Not last year because she didn't do them for last year, but year prior to that. And she loved it. She loved every moment of it, of people telling her that they really enjoyed them, and she puts her heart and love into them. So she definitely wants that feedback. Tamales. I have a few posts on the Wham Show page, giving you a description of where to, how to order them, and it's very simple. You just send them through PayPal, and you put on the notes what you want, and we've already organized the orders that came in. And then you go. Yeah. And so if you don't mind, bro, if you have that info already handy, just throw in
Heck yes.
the details right there. That way they can see them. But yeah, it's just a PayPal order, and you get to order some tamales. And I'll tell you, don't you dare just order one dozen.
I was gonna order 1 dozen. And I was like, no. So I ordered one of each.
Don't do that to yourself, because here's what happens. We've all opened up a pack of gum around our friends.
Yeah.
And what happens as soon as you do that? The gums just go away. And so you do that with the tamales, and for sure they will start jacking you. And you will be very upset because you're going to want a lot more.
If that's what happens when I bring Coors Light to an event,
yeah,
I can't imagine what's going to happen with my tamales.
It's insane. It's insane.
I'm not sharing.
I'm telling you, the story I told you earlier was somebody took a bite out of it. I was literally saying hi to my mama. I was at the tent, and somebody took a bite, and they left the line. They walked away. They processed it, and they literally got back in line because they said, I only ordered 1 dozen, and I got to have more of these. I know I'm going to kill them. And I'm pretty sure that was the person that said that they did not make it back to the hotel. They killed them right there. And so anyways, yes, support my mama. She's hustling too.
Heck yes. I told my parents, they're like, get us some, but I never got any information like what they want. So I'm sure you'll see 2 orders from Malachi. I'm sure it'll happen.
They're getting you on your Coors Light, man. They said, come on, bro.
I know. It's cheap and it's everywhere. So it's like,
true.
But
no, so, and then you guys will see, and this image is actually a really cool image that you guys are getting to see for the first time, because I believe this image is scheduled to post tomorrow. And so you guys are getting the first access to this image and what we're doing here. But yeah, no, it'll definitely be emailed out and all these details. But you guys are seeing kind of how the schedule is going to run, and depending on what your activity is going to be or what you're doing through the day, Saturday obviously being our heaviest of what we're doing. Make sure you guys check that out and see it from there. Last day to order tamales, babe?
We haven't set a date, but I would say probably.
I think
do you mind if I post that picture on our the Briggs and Jennings Show page?
Go for it. Post it right now. You say exclusive access just for you.
28th, Sunday before.
Like I was gonna say the weekend before the show for sure, because of the amount of prep that it takes. Like my mama is already prepping what she has to do for the amount of orders that have already been received, and all you procrastinators like Mr. Briggs over here, now she has to account for all that. So yeah, no, it's intense. But Sunday before is going to be the cutoff for that, and so we'll shut that down that Sunday. That way we can print out everything, verify what we have ordered, and she can prep for that because she has to go buy all the the meats and tamale batter, all that stuff. Yeah, all that fun stuff.
Really quick.
Yeah, because everything's fresh. So it's not like they're frozen somewhere like you get it with a whole bunch of other people. You're getting them fresh that day. So literally the night before, they're all being cooked. Everything's being prepped, and that way, or the day of as well. You'll get them there nice and warm, and they prep them that way so that you guys are getting them, and you are gonna get your order, and you can eat them right at that moment. So no, it's gonna be great.
Really quick. Hi, babe. Or she just said hi, and then she texts me, "You didn't say hi back." I'm saying hi. Hi, my darling love.
Yeah, don't get in trouble.
She's down in Port Aransas this week, so
you're only hanging out with me for a little longer, man. You're gonna get you on the phone and say you didn't tell me you loved me.
I know. I love you, my beautiful darling, my sweet, my pet, my love, the love of my life.
Mm-hmm. And so Saturday's obviously heavy with what we got going on for the show. That's our main event. That's the big kahuna for the show. So obviously, if you guys have questions with that or what's going on and that timeline doesn't answer for you, hit us up. And so obviously our cruise, this will be the second round that we're doing our cruise for the show. And man, we have something exciting for you guys that we're prepping. And so on top of media that'll be there and the opportunity for us to really dive into capturing these vehicles on the move, there's a few different exciting things. Something I even posted about today about feeding you guys there, and everything. So yeah, no, we're definitely excited to expand on that and see how it goes. And we're gonna test out another cruise to a fun little takeoff, and we'll go from there. But if you guys you mentioned GoPros and stuff, set them up, get us some content, show us what you guys capture, and we'd love to share that with everybody.
Faux show. All right. Boom. All right. Just got the WHAM schedule posted up. So on our stuffs. So sorry, Jesse, I ran out of the house to get up here. So I know that WHAM, that y'all have your own merch and stuff, but we also have, as you were repping and you sent me the other day. Oh, look at that, stancy.
Oh, it just got out of the washing machine, so that's why I ain't wearing it, because we've been rocking them. My wife has been rocking them. I sent you that photo the other day.
Mm-hmm.
It was really awesome quality, by the way. That's what I love the most about it. So
right.
But yeah, no, it feels really good. But she enjoyed it. I've seen it a few times on her now. So she's really hyped up about that. But yes, we're definitely going to have a few different designs coming. You guys already saw 2 of them, I think, that we launched online to pre-order. And those are hopefully we'll have those really quickly. That way we can get them out to you guys or pick them up there at the show. And by the way, if you ordered a shirt, they were a little delayed on printing and everything, but we will have them available for you guys to pick up at the show. And if you paid for shipping on that, we'll refund that. So just let us know. And we're going to keep a list of everybody that picked them up on, so we'll automatically do that anyways. But just FYI, so that way you're not worried about not having it for event weekend. We're definitely trying to make it to where you guys get it in time. But if not, we have our backup there. But yeah, we have a few different designs that are coming that you guys are going to be able to pick up. I actually have a call after this to talk about some designs. But from there, man, I'm really hyped up for you guys on seeing everybody wearing this, and obviously love how everybody's coming together with different groups and different clubs or different chapters, because I know that's a big deal, and bringing the communities together is always is a challenge, no matter whether you're in a different area or whatever it is. And so, that's one thing that we don't take for granted with everyone, whether you're driving across the road, because we literally have some owners that drive across the street to come to the show, or you're doing I think the one I saw last week he said it was a 27-hour drive one way from where he was coming. And immediately I was like, bro, don't you know gas prices? But thankfully they're coming down. But man, it's just different, and everybody experiences and everybody gets to take their break, and everybody's having their own version of what Labor Day weekend will be. And we're very blessed and honored that a lot of you guys are spending it with us, with the Mopar community. And we're going to work our butt off to give you guys a really great experience.
For sure. Very excited. I know I took that Thursday and Friday off because last year I did not. So I was sitting in an entire staff meeting driving to Dallas, just with my little Zoom camera on. I was like, I'm gonna get my butt in trouble.
You have the green screen on the back so you could pretend you were in the office.
No, I forgot that you could do the virtual backgrounds on Zoom on the phone. So I mean, they're just watching me.
A little road trip.
Oh yeah. So it was funny. As soon as it ended, I was at a buddy's house and I was redoing lights on his truck and stuff. So, but yeah, no. So it's I'm definitely excited. Thursday's a big detail day.
You take off for what, babe? A week at least? Wednesday's your
Friday.
Yeah. And so for me, thankfully, very flexible with time, but I think it's like a week legit of just out there, just setting up stuff. So, but no, man, it's going to be really fun. And I'm really excited about everything that's going on and about the weekend that we have planned. And obviously, as we go into wrapping up this round, Sorry, I'm getting notes here that I could share with you guys. Yeah, some fun stuff. So as we ramp up into the event weekend, man, we're prepped, we're ready, we're excited. But I can't tell you guys how excited I am for the next round too. So we'll have those dates out for you guys here soon, and hopefully you guys will be able to join us for the next round too. 'Cause again, we always evolve with what we're doing. Fun fact, there are 99 registered members for TRC. Now, it does include, because of instructions prior, and I know there's been some changes and some requests, it does include the American Ram Club Legacy members. And so I got an email, I believe, that we just discussed today about whether or not those combine or not. And I know there's a lot of discussions, but as they sit right now, you guys are one person away, and I think it's Drew that hasn't registered. Drew, you come out here, you can hit us at 100. And so anyway, so fun stuff, man. I really appreciate you guys coming out in force again. And I know there's been a lot of changes with schedules and night shows and gas prices and the world going crazy and whatever went on, and we're still going to have a really successful show. And for the people that are coming out, they're going to have a really great time. And if you can't do it for this round, we'll definitely wait for you for the next round. And hopefully you continue to have a really great time with us out there.
For sure. We're super excited. I know, like I said, I told my wife last year, I said, babe, if you're 9 months pregnant, you're coming to Wham so that we can just give birth. Just do it out on middle of the autocross track.
I just got a message about somebody, and obviously we're not going to throw out who that is, but somebody was like, hey, how can I get engaged at your show? And I was like, that's a big question. By the way, you gotta tell me on that. I don't know how that would happen. But the guy's like, hey, I want to get engaged there. I'm gonna ask my girl. It's been a big thing. It's a big part of our lives and the car and the show. And we've been talking about your show for almost 2 years because they couldn't come before. And they're like, that's where I want to do this. And I was like, well,
that's awesome.
I was like, okay, well now I gotta add something else to the mixture. But if you guys are doing a childbirth at the show, let's communicate a little more, and
Yeah, for sure.
we will. Yeah, we'll have our EMS on standby to be just walking behind you guys, and
solid.
yeah, no, we'll see. We'll see what we can do.
Yeah, I mean, it ain't on the horizon right now, but if it happens, it happens. But I told her, I said, just know, babe, I know you're not a fan of the heat. Just be aware.
No, that for sure. Wife just threw out another thing, which is also a Ram owner, right? Because she won one of the top 100s, right?
No, she won best of.
Best of what? Best of Ram. Shoot. So best of Ram for last year's show just had a beautiful little baby. And I mean, this week, right? Like fresh baby smell. And they are literally still driving out here. And so from North Carolina, let's throw that out there. So again, everybody's dedication, everybody's different on their time, and I'm sure they're gonna need a nice little fun break from all that. But when it comes to accommodations, make sure that they know where to go, of course. But yeah, man, no, everybody's, like I said, everybody's different, everybody's scenario is different, but we love the stories, we love knowing. That's why I said at the beginning of this, like, make sure that you guys talk to us. You know, we literally a family putting on the show, and so if you interact and you reach out to us, we'd love to talk to you. You know, and I know there's a lot of names and a lot of people that we interact with at the show, but if you see me, you know, say hi. You know, I'd love to shake your hand and thank you. You know, that weekend. And one funny thing, so don't get crazy with me, but after I shook everybody's hand last year, I put a hand sanitizer. Right, that was the routine. But I'd love to shake everybody's hands if you guys are comfortable and around there. And if my wife isn't yelling at me to get to the other side of the track, I'll stop and say hi.
Awesome.
Train horns. It's a big thing. The Speedway officially does not like those things, right? And so they say that it's a big distractor, especially if you're utilizing them on the track, because people are going to get scared while they're trying to drive a little faster on an oval that takes big turns. So yeah, we say no. Like yeah. So outside, have fun while if you're showing off, you're going through the tunnel. People love to rev up their engines and go crazy in the tunnel. Honk the horn, you know. So yeah. So officially can't say yes, please use it, but I am also not going to go run after you when you hit the horn on the track. But the Speedway would love to tell me, or love me to tell you, please don't do that and scare everybody.
Good to know. Good to know. That tunnel was pretty fantastic. I was really disappointed in my exhaust last year, so that was one of the first things I took care of when WAM was over.
I love that illegal things. I literally attend other events that I just have zero interest for just to hit that tunnel.
It's a fantastic tunnel.
It's a fantastic deal. And here's one thing that, and obviously very biased with it, but I will never get over the feeling of driving in middle of the show, because I always go out and make sure the team is good. And I will drive in through the tunnel in the middle of the event. I will turn left and see hundreds, if not thousands, of vehicles, Mopars. I will turn right. I will see autocross. I will look off to the distance. I will see the laps. And just the vibe and the moment of that is special. And so hopefully you guys get to enjoy that too. And, we don't necessarily have a rule for not driving your vehicle around the venue, of course, with saying that. But of course, there's always traffic and there's movement. And if you're going somewhere, you got to go somewhere. Like they're moving you along. But hopefully you guys get to enjoy that. And even when you're walking in or walking in, when you're driving in at the beginning of the event, there will already be tons of people in there, and vendors and just staff and everybody. So you guys definitely get a version of that. And as you're leaving, you'll get to experience it too. And so yeah, no, it's really fun thing. Really, really special deal.
For sure. Well, do you have any other details or anything super exciting that you want to share or anything along those lines? Or
I have so much exciting stuff I want to share, but I'll get in trouble. But I will say, just to kind of throw this out there, I know it is a big weekend. I know there's as much information as we've dropped already as we release, and as we plan on continuing to release. You will still have questions, and you will still be a little bit confused about something or need a little bit more information. Reach out to us. Respond to the emails. Respond to the messages on Facebook, on Instagram, wherever. And let us know. That way, you guys are confused and your experience goes a little better. But the more prep that you do with understanding that, there's FAQs on the website, so go click those and enjoy those, or read over them a little bit as you're getting coffee or whatever, and try to educate yourself on what's going on that weekend. And if you have another question that wasn't answered there, let us know, because we might want to include that. And so, let's do that.
for sure, sounds good.
Drew, yes, we have definitely considered it. We have from the beginning, we've looked at adding more days at the actual speedway. On top of the fact that it just increases the amount that you pay for the weekend. And if you knew what we were paying for the venue, you'd feel for it. But and actually right now, from what I understand, they're going through some changes for Big Hoss. So even last year we had a backup screen that was out there because they were going through different tech changes or different things for that TV. But man, we've thought about it. We wanted to really give a different experience. I'll tell you, as car owners, not with the challenges that we face with obviously the lifted trucks, but the garage, for me personally, has been one of the best parts of the weekend, right? And so that experience, that thing by itself, I can literally do it on its own weekend for just the garage part of Friday Night Lights, and it would be successful. And so we have kept it there because of the amazing feedback we've received. But we have prepped and asked questions for other ones, and maybe later on it happens and goes from there. But yeah, no, we're good where we're at right now.
For sure.
But no, so questions or anything, obviously you guys can reach out to us, info@whamshow.com, Facebook on Wham Show, Instagram Wham Show Official. You can hit me up on Moparian or Mr. Moparian on Instagram. You can hit up Wifey on Lady Octane. There's so many channels. The Mopar Octane group as well that I think just hit 70,000 members as of tonight, I believe. And so there's so many different places that you guys can interact with us, that we are looking and making sure that everybody has the answers that they need. And so, so it's great. When we hit 100, can TRC get a parade lap? They're asking it. That's for you to answer. Let's say this. Get to that number first, then we can talk. Right? So, Drew, it is on you. Drew, we're waiting on you.
No pressure, Drew.
But no, so obviously, really tough to do a parade lap. But here's what I'll say. You guys, the best way for us to accomplish that and get you guys all together is what we talked about earlier. Get the team together, talk about, hey, when do we want to go out there, whether it's early on in the event or later on or whatever it is. You guys will be able to clearly see on Infield Road and see how busy it is, or take a lap over there and see, hey, there's not too many people. Let's round up everybody. So I don't know whether y'all have a group chat or like a walkie-talkie deal or whatever it is. But coordinate with the team, and that's going to be a lot easier to manage versus us trying to pause something or make a lap like that happen. Yeah, maybe that. Yeah, so Wifey was saying maybe at the end of the show, right? Because we do have a cutoff time. So if you guys are waiting towards the end of it, which I assume a lot of people will wait or just go over there and knock it out quickly. Again, just a different territory on how it's going to go this round, because we've made some changes. So, but yes, Yes, you can fly flags on the track as long as they're mounted on good. So if you're having to hold it, that's a no-no. But we've ran the bad flag series, and we've done, and I'm sure there's a few different other versions out there. But if you got it fully mounted on, they will look at that. Again, people will be inspecting the vehicle to make sure there isn't anything dangerous or anything that can fall off or anything that looks sketchy. So but by all means fly them and show off whatever you're repping or whatever flag you want to show off, and the pictures just look that much cooler too, because they'll capture them while they're waving and going on, and we have so many awesome photos because of that. But just make sure they're fully secured, and anything that you bring, so like tents, if you guys are bringing tents to the show, make sure you fully secure them down, get them weighted down, because even though it feels like sometimes the wind isn't there at the track, they'll definitely fly away. Coolers, no glass in the coolers, and I don't believe there's a limit anymore. We removed the limit of like what size cooler you can bring.
Yeah, yes, it's actually implementing some restrictions
Yeah.
this year.
So again, they're
No
always
alcohol in the coolers.
because they're selling.
Yes.
Yeah. So because they're selling alcohol, as I mentioned earlier, they have a beer garden. They will not allow alcohol to go in your cooler. I'm not searching the vehicles. You guys have fun. But yeah, officially, as my wife just informed me, they are requesting that beer not be brought in. I will not be checking your coolers, and if they choose to, they will, but we won't. So yeah.
Good to know.
Yeah.
Good to know.
But yeah, so everybody's a little different on what they request, and every year we get to work with different people or different rules. I have them for different reasons. So, but we try to keep you guys updated with it. And again, sometimes we don't know until the very end or until they decide what's going on at the track. So, and that just depends on how dangerous they see a scenario and how they want to shift for it. But we will be speaking to the track another round here soon, and whatever updates come from that, like the helmets, I will make sure to inform you guys on any of the rules that they've set for that.
Perfect.
Cool. It's gonna rain. It's gonna rain, guys. We're getting rain.
It just poured out here at Big Sandy.
Yeah, we ain't got none of that. All of our lawns are dead. But yeah. So again, thank you guys so much. Thank you, man, for allowing me to come on here and do this. My wife has continued to tell me you need to get on live videos and you need to go do that and you need to talk to the people. And I love hanging out with you, man. I think that's a big deal of like the excitement on this too. But honestly, part of it is making sure that we connect with your audience and not that everybody on here is just Ram, because we're also sharing and hopefully other people are getting value out of the conversation. But I love being able to inform you guys and keep you guys updated with it too. And if it doesn't feel like we have a lot of love for your platform, or it doesn't feel for some reason that it isn't a Ram show as well, we're working on that, because guess what, guys, this is your show. And so this is not a Challenger Charger show. This is not a LX scene or whatever other vehicle. This is not a Jeep show. This is not a Ram show. This is a Mopar show. But every one of those platforms is family, and we want to make sure that you guys feel welcomed and that we include more activities and more things for you guys to do that you're going to enjoy, like the Tug of War. And so we'll have more discussions about that later on, now that you guys brought that up. And when we announce that, we're going to talk about how it came from here. And so hopefully that is something that we're able to do and put that together and be safe about it. And maybe that's something that we bring in for next year. So
for sure.
But thank you guys again for having me on and for listening to us. And hopefully you guys had some fun.
Definitely. And thanks so much again, Pedro, for coming on. And I'm sure you'll get all kinds of questions.
For sure. Well, we're here for them. That's one of those things you guys don't feel bad about it. We're here. We want the questions, because that just makes sure that you guys are prepared and that you guys understand what we're building. And because it's a big show and so much is going on, man, you're going to get confused. For us, we know everything about it because we're prepping it, we're planning it, we know what we're trying to do and where the people are going to be at. But if there's something that you're not 100% about that you're participating in or that you just want to be aware of, make sure you reach out to us.
For sure. Cool, man. Well, I know you're at home. Unfortunately, I'm not at home. I need to go get home. It's about an hour drive. So
go
thanks
get
again. And see you in a couple of weeks.
All right, guys. We'll see you at the show.
Have a good one. Everybody, thank you for tuning in. Have a good night.